All right, we should be good to go. I hope so. The playlist we're listening to, I've never listened to before, so we'll see if it's nice or not. But at least now we are going. It's gonna be great. So welcome to the grand finale of the Council of Ginseng Masters. I really think this is gonna be some very interesting matches to watch, and it's the top from the three groups in the tournament, from the Grandmaster group, the Masters group, and the Young Master group. The Grandmaster, as we have it, is Kartofelbest. The Master is theBuddhaofGaming, and our Young Master is Aurora. And yeah, I think we have a great event ahead of us, and unfortunately Pip could not join. So instead, luckily Emmanuel was ready for and down for helping out with commentating some games, and yeah, just joining us in the live stream. So I'll be hosting it together with Emmanuel, and Emmanuel, you can also say hi or welcome if you want.
Yeah, hello, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I really look forward to. Usually, I've always been commentating games with Pip. So, and I think, of course, Pip is a great player, but you are also a great player, Emmanuel, and you have very interesting strategical thoughts as well. So I think it's going to be really awesome having your voice in the commentating. So I really look forward to that.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So the first thing we're gonna do is the first thing for the plan is to give out the boards that was designed for this tournament, and you can see this board here. It's we call it the Council of Lion Turtles, and this is the day version, I guess. And then you have Council of Lion Turtle night version, which we should maybe do with Magna. There we go. It's a bit slow to load. All right. There's a piece missing. Oh, it's here. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so everyone who's here right now will receive the links for these boards. We'll do that as the first thing. After that, Emmanuel and I will commentate or review. We will review some of the games that have been played in the tournament. Somewhere between 3 to 6 games are we going to review. We'll see how many games we can get, and then after that will be done in about 45 minutes, and then after that we are going to watch the grand finale live with commentating as well, and that will last for just 1 hour. So the Grandmaster, Master, and Young Master only have 1 hour to finish their games. We're going to watch all the games simultaneously. There will be 3 games, and we'll jump between the games while commentating. I think it's a great dynamic for a tournament finale, and we also did this last time, and I think it worked really well. So it puts a bit extra pressure on those council members, which I think is just great for tournament finale, honestly. So yeah, I'll be sending you all the links that you need. I'll do that now. I think the easiest way to do this. Wow, is it only on my end that the music is awful right now? It's lacking so much.
Issues.
I think I'm gonna mute it for now. I'm gonna post the links for the boards just in the live streaming chat, because I don't want to spend time on sending it to each and every one of you. So if you're interested in having these boards, you can grab them from the live stream chat. There we go. And these are also the boards we will be using while we do this stream. So if you want to bring some games up yourself, you can use these board designs as well. All right, so let's just head into it. Let's dive into do some reviews on some of the tournament games. Emmanuel, do you have any? I've pulled 3 games up here, but do you also have any suggestions on where to start?
I can hear you well. I think you have connection issues.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I cannot hear you.
I think my Wi-Fi might not be very good right now. Let me shift to my phone. Okay, hopefully this is a bit better. Can you try saying it again? Okay, I might have had a bad connection, but I think I'm back now. Emmanuel, what did you just say?
Well, I was just telling you that you have a bad connection, have some connection issues.
Ah,
I do not understand.
maybe it was
What?
both of us.
I'm not sure.
I was also having a bad connection. Anyways, we're ready to jump into the reviews, and yeah, we can. We'll just see how far we get, and we can start with the. We're going to go through this game right here, Mikkel versus HUMANCHILD. That's myself, and then at some point, I don't know when, we also for sure want to go through the game between FireNationSokka and Aurora, which was the determining game in to figure out who would be the young master. And yeah, those are just the 2 I have planned right now, and I'll look on the suggestions as well, and then we'll get some other games up also. So let's do it. Are you ready, Emmanuel?
Yes, let's do this.
If you want to, then you can go through just like the first game, reviewing it, and then I can jump in if I have any comments. I can also start if you wish that.
Well, I haven't reviewed the game. Plus, it's your game, so you know it better.
Okay.
Perhaps you should start.
Yeah, that's good. Just check. Oh, yeah, it's fine. All right, so we have myself as host, and then we have HUMANCHILD as guest. This is one of the games that was suggested for review, so that's why we're going through it. And it's miles away from me. I haven't checked through it, so let's just see what happens here. It's an interesting game, nonetheless. I know we have HUMANCHILD as the winner, and I think there were some interesting dynamics throughout. So let's see how it starts. We have HUMANCHILD with a classic koi opener, and then myself with a bison opener. Already doing the ginseng here. I have a lotus out. So kind of, let me just show you very quickly actually. Well, I'm not threatening much, but if this ginseng wasn't here, then I was already very quickly doing a threatening for their first capture, which would then lead to HUMANCHILD being forced to protect it with a ginseng. Maybe slowing a bit down, maybe not, because it's still a strong line. But let's continue. There we have some ginseng fortresses against each other. Very standard play from HUMANCHILD, setting up with lion turtle and the ginsengs here. I'm just going quickly through it now until something really interesting will come forward. There we have the Ginseng Fortress. Also, if you have any questions throughout the game you're watching, then just throw a message in the chat, and then I'll see it. Okay, so we have a Ginseng Fortress versus Ginseng Fortress. This is the best way, as I know it, to counter a Ginseng Fortress. It's basically just by making a Ginseng Fortress yourself. Personally, I don't like this style of play because it feels very static and also kind of predictable because it's been played so many times before, so many moves are going to be the same. And just to answer Exe, the tournament games will be starting around in 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how many games we review, but at the latest in 40 minutes. Pressing forward with the koi. Not threatening much with the dragon, but I can jump to have my lotus protected here. We have a dragon push up here and the lotus jump. Bison forward, giving some extra movement to this lion shot and Ginseng, but that's not so interesting, I think. It can reach really good now, I think, yeah. So this is one of the moves I've really come to like a lot, and it's one of the moves I'm using in most of the games right now, actually. It's still very easy to counter, and people have already caught up on that, but taking the badge roll, flipping over the wheel, creating this threat right here, both on the bison and on the dragon. And I think right here you could question whether or not it would be stronger for HUMANCHILD to just move the bison back and then have it protected here, because then the wheel can't go through, right? Or as HUMANCHILD does, bring the Ginseng forward and then protecting in that way here. By taking the Ginseng forward, these are not protecting each other, so now basically they can be captured, but there's no way of me reaching that right now. And by taking it forward, at the same time, HUMANCHILD keeps the boost on the lion turtle. So that might be the thought behind it. And Emmanuel, if you have any comments, just break in. Yeah, we see this.
Not early.
We see this orchid move here. It's also boosted by the bison, and means both Ginseng can actually be captured now. But it's very easy to counter, just bring the other Ginseng forward as well, and all is good. So we have I'm thinking, what did I want to do with this? Well, I brought the wheel forward. I can't remember why right now. I guess we'll see. Maybe it was just to block some movement for the bison, or I don't know. We have a lotus pole. Maybe doing a push afterwards from the dragon. And then having a lion here. We'll see. I think this is... Oh yeah, that might be what I've wanted to do. But by taking the lotus this way, you can see there's not... Well, the most material right now is focused on the center, and therefore I thought maybe going this way with the lotus, it'll be a bit easier to actually get a winning move. If there won't be as much material around here. So we'll see how it develops.
Honestly, the wheel move was very creative. I think the point
this one?
with the but the point with it, I think, is to free up the movement for the lotus. Because it blocks movement from the other tiles, especially from the lion turtle, which could have reached it very easily.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's very creative, Michael, as usual.
Yeah, that might be what I've thought about when I made that move. It definitely does slow HUMANCHILD a bit down if they want to go this way around. And also the wheel is not the most important piece, so it's okay to sacrifice it. Interesting take. Okay, we have a back push from HUMANCHILD here, which is super interesting. It means that we now have an offset lotus. I think you coined that term, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not kitchen. It's not the spell, actually.
We need to find something else then. But for now, an offset lotus.
I couldn't find it, so stuck with it.
The good thing, or something that's quite strong about an offset lotus. So if it's offset, it just means it's not on the same axis as it started, right? If it's on the same axis, it could go to these spots here and so on. But now it's been pushed one spot, which means it instead will go to these spots. And the reason why it's really good is that, well, basically it boosts, it makes your badger mole so much more valuable, because you can use the badger mole on the midline to pull your lotus over, right? Because the lotus will actually be on this line here. So I think it's a pretty good move. And I do the same here. I also go for the offset lotus. Don't need to explain that again. And then we have the wheel capture. Interesting. Yeah, and I take dragon here because definitely worth it, I'd say. Am I leaving this vulnerable? Maybe. We'll see. Bison takes bison. And here, because of HUMANCHILD's lion turtle, my orchid is not removed from the board. So in terms of the state right now, I'd say when you look on capture tiles, it's in favor for myself. Pulling the lotus over once again, setting up for jump here, but it's very vulnerable here, so they probably won't do that. Have this orchid move, basically just blocking for the wheel, and if the wheel takes, then maybe this orchid, I assume, takes the wheel, and then the badger mole won't be captured because the wheel is gone, right? And then I can pull it over. But instead of taking HUMANCHILD moves and the orchid to help around in this area as well, I think this move helped them a lot, and very soon. Yeah, because as you see, the orchid can go all the way here. So I can't put my badger mole here or here because, well, the lotus will go here and it can also capture, and that's why I'm forced to go the other way, or at least that's what I decide to do. Setting up for a win here. It's very sneaky. So many tiles here that I feel like I could easily miss it. But here it's blocked with the orchid, and I think this is a really nice move because the orchid is now in a good position in terms of being protected by the ginseng, And it's not trapped because of the land turtle disabling the core. There we have that capture. Now something else has to capture it. And I decide sacrificing the land turtle. Yeah, I think this might be where it turns a bit around in favor of HUMANCHILD. Because if HUMANCHILD had taken with the orchid, well, then it would be game over. Because the orchid would disappear. I'd go up here, pull the lotus over, and there's nothing you can do. Then on my next move, I'd pull it over again. But by being okay with sacrificing their land turtle as well, it means that they still have this orchid up here also doing a threat. And of course I need to capture this. I think, what do you think, Mikkel? Do you think it's a bad move? Is it a blunder that I capture the land turtle?
Well, I don't think so. But I think you're lost regardless. I'm not sure. Because here, the threat from HUMANCHILD is to pull the lotus. To pull the lotus closer to the midline. Because the badger mole would be protected by the ginseng. And the orchid is trapped.
Yeah.
No, not here. Later.
Okay.
After this trade, after the turtle is gone. Now the orchid is trapped and there is no way to stop it.
Yeah.
So that's a threat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's interesting.
I don't think there's a remotely good move here.
Yeah, because another thing could have also just been moving the badger mole over here, and then the lotus would still be protected. Oh yeah, of course. Not a good idea. Maybe I even thought about that, but saw that it would be trapped. And if I move here, it doesn't help either, because core just goes down here then. Yeah. Yeah, so this is it's a clever move by HUMANCHILD. It's good that they didn't decide on just keeping the land turtle, because it's one of the most valuable pieces, but being ready to sacrifice it for a better position. And their orchid takes badger mole. Now there's really nothing going on over here, and my lotus is sitting here alone. It's not very good. Take my dragon forward, I think simply just to make sure I have just some tiles to use against the setup. But if HUMANCHILD makes the move, I think it would be just trapping these two tiles. We'll see. Yeah. Which makes me
that's not even necessary, but it's not even necessary.
Can you clarify that?
Well, the winning move is the same, pulling the lotus with the badger mole. So I think that move would have been good even like 2 moves ago.
Well, if a HUMANCHILD, instead of doing the koi here, just did the badger mole pull, then on next move I could just push the lotus so it wouldn't be offset.
Yeah, you're right.
So the lotus would be there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So
push back.
Yeah, so I guess there was a missed win from HUMANCHILD. But yeah, so from when you captured, when you moved your line turtle from there.
Yeah, so here.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of capturing, you could have just.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely true. That would have been a shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it even happens for the great HUMANCHILD, missing a win opportunity.
I don't think it's that obvious though.
No, it's definitely not. I hadn't recognized it at all. Because if I had seen that, like if I had seen that on this move, then I wouldn't obviously take the wheel. I wonder how far back it even goes. Oh yeah, obviously so. It's only because I moved the lion turtle, because now this is trapped.
Yeah.
So this move from me is really a blunder. I should have done something instead. Probably just bring the, I don't know, then Orchid takes koi. Yeah. Anyways, we continue.
Well, even that I think would have been better, because you could have taken the wheel with your badger mole, and then the lotus is protected. If the badger mole is captured with the lion turtle, you could push your lion turtle towards the fortress, and I think you would have broken it.
Interesting, yeah.
Perhaps, I don't know, it's just on the fly calculations.
No, I think that would make sense. So you're saying if I went koi, then orchid, these two go out with each other. Then this.
Yeah, because
right?
When you move your orchid, you're threatening a win.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. When you move your koi fish trapping, you're threatening a win.
If I put the koi here, I'm threatening a win.
Yeah, because you're trapping the wheel. Now you can pull your lotus towards the mid lane.
I see. That's true. Yeah, so they will be forced to take the koi. Interesting. Let's push forward here. This was the move we went to. So the koi traps koi, infinite trapping, and there we have it.
Yeah, now the faithful.
And it's game over. Yeah, I think this was a really interesting game, and GG. And we'll play HUMANCHILD.
Yeah, that middle game was quite complex, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Do you have a game we should look on? I know you suggested some games as well. Let me see what those games were.
Yeah, let me check as well. So
you suggested. Oh, we should take a game. I guess round 5, HUMANCHILD versus Kartofelbest. Maybe we should take one from that's not Grandmaster now.
Well, I'm not sure. It was quite long and stale.
Let me see what HUMANCHILD have here.
But it was awesome because it went for so long. So funny. I don't know. It was like over 100 moves, I think.
We could do. HUMANCHILD suggested theBuddhaofGaming versus Izney. I imagine that's an interesting one.
Yeah, let's go for that.
In round 6.
I think we could go for random picks from all the suggestions, and it would be fine.
Yeah. I at least want to make sure we get a game of the Grandmaster as well. And obviously the Master, which we have now, and then also the Young Master. Do you want to lead the way in this one? Or do you
unfortunately, I don't have computers, so
okay.
I don't think how practical it would be.
Okay, so we'll do the same as before.
This is Izney in theBuddhaofGaming. I don't think I've seen this one. It's an interesting opening. And an interesting response.
Something we often see BuddhaofGaming doing is, well, he heavily relies on the Ginseng fortress. So it's going to be interesting to see if, well, I definitely think they're going to do that here, and I can't remember if Izney just counters with the Ginseng fortress as well, but we'll see. There we have it. Just like the game between HUMANCHILD and I.
I mean, it's basically a no-brainer playing a fortress.
What do you think about this move from Izney? Oh, and sorry, if people who weren't aware, we have Izney as the host, which we see down here, BuddhaofGaming as guest, playing the tiles up here. But what, Emmanuel, do you think of this move? Why might they be making that?
It's basic developing for one, so that couldn't be bad. But I'm definitely have no clue what that's all about.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, BuddhaofGaming wouldn't take the Badger Mole because that would mean sacrificing their Lion's Heart land. They probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, it would mean a lot of things. Firstly, an unfair trade, then that trade would develop the koi for host, because you can capture it. So that would be a good capture, and then it would greatly weaken the fortress because the Lion can easily walk in, and giving up that central control for guest is red, right?
Yeah, guest is red.
Okay, so I forgot my idea. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so they definitely, BuddhaofGaming definitely wants that Badger Mole, so just jumping around with the Ginseng to make sure they can capture in peace. Izney mirrors it. There we have actually kind of the same move I made in the game we just watched. Pulling the wheel over, threatening.
That's quite interesting.
Bison and dragon here.
That's a very good move, actually. Pulling the Badger Mole, the wheel with the Badger Mole, because it develops both the Badger Mole and the wheel at the same time.
And the Lotus.
And yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah, because in my version of it, I usually place the Badger Mole here and then pull the wheel over. But that kind of... Well, if you have an offset Lotus, it doesn't slow the movement for the Lotus, then it helps with the movement. But if you don't have an offset Lotus, then this move is really smart because you're not removing that jump possibility, but actually extending it. Really good move from BuddhaofGaming.
Yeah, it's very smart.
We have Izney blocking for... Is this a blunder, would you say, Emmanuel?
Well, yeah. Oh no, actually, no. That's not. I don't think so, because the only way to capture it is with the lion turtle.
Yeah.
So if you try to trap it with the...
yeah.
I think it's smart. So if you try to trap it, you block the protection for the lion turtle.
Yeah.
You can capture it only with the lion turtle, but if you do, then you lose your fortress.
Yeah, because then host lion turtle goes forward.
And the opportunity that brings is that you can now move the Badger Mole. It's free. You can use it to advance your Lotus.
It's very interesting.
Because you move the Badger Mole and then...
Yeah. And I think for some players it definitely would be tempting to just take this Bison because, hey, it's a free tile and my land turtle is still protected. But BuddhaofGaming might be seeing what Izney is trying to do, and instead they just develop the fortress. They're saying, I don't care about that tile, you can keep it.
Yeah, now there's a threat of capture. Because none of those plans can
definitely
work.
Yeah. And Izney evades it by taking the Badgermole around. I wonder if the wheel takes Badgermole here. It does not.
Why not?
That's very interesting.
Oh, actually, I totally forgot about that wheel because when the bison moved, the the dragon now was free to capture.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't you just capture the bison?
The Badgermole.
The dragon.
Yeah, the dragon.
You know,
That's
one
also
move.
an interesting question, yeah.
I have not noticed that.
I guess maybe Buddha of Gaming was afraid that the fortress might get disrupted if they weren't protecting both lines with their tile. Because, yeah, as mentioned in the beginning, they definitely love using the fortresses. So that might be the thought behind it. But
Well,
yeah,
how?
I think this.
Perhaps, but I don't see no way
No,
of
yeah,
doing that.
yeah, I agree. And then here, still no capture. This is interesting. It'll be interesting to see how these tiles right here develop later on. Oh, and Monkey Izney just wrote in the chat, writing, I believe he was trying to make a lotus jump, but removed the wheel so it didn't work. Okay. So yeah, we'll probably see this on their next move. If Buddha of Gaming brings the Badgermole in, jumps over here, then there is actually a winning opportunity. But Badgermole takes the wheel. Obviously, it's a free tile. Okay, then the wheel goes. I think this is again a very clever move from Buddha of Gaming, because if Buddha had used their Badgermole instead to bring the Lotus over, then the Lotus is already halfway there, and Izney might, or a player like myself, might be more aware that there is this jump opportunity. But by using the wheel instead, it might make it feel a bit, then they're seeing, okay, where can the wheel go? It can take my Badgermole. So they want to take my Badgermole.
Yeah, perhaps. But then you would just move the Badgermole.
Yeah,
there's no.
Yeah, true. Either that, or try to get the Ginseng around and give up on this, because they might want to get the Badgermole for. But yeah, I see your point. I would probably do the same.
Yeah,
remove the Badgermole.
Right.
But it is kind of a sneaky setup. Yeah. And that's I love this. Is maybe Izney's kind of just trying to bait Buddha of Gaming to doing the same move. Let's see what happens. Okay. Whoa. Controversial. So Buddha of Gaming is hoping that Izney is not seeing this win opportunity, and therefore just putting out their lion turtle in the middle of not being protected. Izney sees it, blocks it with their lion turtle. And the thing is, you can't just capture the lion turtle, because if you capture it, then there's still a tile there, and the Lotus can jump, and their orchids aren't close enough. Interesting. And Buddha of Gaming retreats. Badgermole goes far to the right, maybe to make a jump like this.
Yeah, yeah, but those strategies don't usually work that well.
I agree.
Yeah, they don't work. They don't work because you're straying far from the center where most of the tiles are.
Yeah.
You're sort of stranding your Lotus and your tiles on the side of the board.
I would say though,
and there's not much space.
If you have an if you have an offset Lotus, this strategy works very well because of the Badgermole. can pull it over. That's kind of what I've been trying to do sometimes, and it doesn't work every time because it's still very easy to counter. But it would definitely have been a stronger position for Izney if this Lotus was offset.
Yeah, you have the Bajamon and the dragon.
That's true, yeah.
That's quite interesting. I have never realized that. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
BuddhaofGaming decides to trap the bison before. Yeah. Maybe it's to get ready for some jumping. We'll see. Dragon comes forward. Dragon comes forward. Orchid comes forward. Makes sense. If things are going down over here, you want some more material. Huh. So BuddhaofGaming is kind of shifting their game now, maybe deciding to go through the white garden instead by taking that Ginseng around. Izney gets closer to the midline. Okay. Yeah, this is a very... I wonder if Izney saw this move coming right here, because that's a very evil move, I'd say. Interesting. So, okay, so BuddhaofGaming goes forward with their lion turtle, still protected, but now this Ginseng is not protecting this, and it is not protecting this. And basically also not protecting this, but that doesn't matter as much. Izney decides to take the koi.
Yeah, that's a good capture because if you would not move the turtle from there, it would have been just free stuff.
Yeah, it would be captured by maybe not the lion turtle, maybe the koi instead actually, and koi would go here. So yeah, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, the koi most likely.
So Izney is sacrificing lion turtle for koi, and dragon comes forward. This might be some bloodbath. Yeah. Bison takes dragon, and right.
It's the turtle for 2 benders, which is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, I agree. Material wise, it's best for Izney.
Yeah, it's interesting because the host position is not actually that bad. Because the ginseng that's aligned with the guest ginseng is protected. So yeah, it's not that bad of a position.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I agree. Now both ginsengs don't matter. Would you say this is I don't think we can call it a blunder, but is it a necessary move from BuddhaofGaming? Because the ginsengs don't really do anything right now anyway. So should he have focused on getting the Lotus forward instead of doing this? What do you think?
It's a good question. I am not totally sure.
Of course, it means that they can't take the bison forward afterwards because it would be captured, since it's not being protected by the ginseng. So maybe it's fine.
I guess yeah, that would be a reason.
Yeah.
But not reason enough. Regardless, I don't think because the fortress, the guest fortress is it's actually quite well protected. You cannot block the turtle because no, it's not actually. Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah, no, it's defended.
Yeah.
So, not necessary, but it's not bad.
Agreed.
Definitely.
The ginseng moving out of the way.
Definitely.
I think this move makes sense. We'll see what it'll be used for later on. Setting up for getting the Lotus to the middle, protected by the ginseng. If Lotus gets here, I think it's a Shinkly. Because even if Dragon pushes, then Bashimul can still pull over.
Yeah, it's even more of a shame that the Dragon pushes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there we have it. Very interesting game. I think. I think if it would have been interesting to see how it would have developed if Izney saw the problem of this Lotus getting here and that being a Shinkli. They would probably need to move maybe the Bison here. It would be captured. It would give them some more time to maybe get some other tiles forward. But yeah, very interesting game. Well played, both of you, I think. Interesting strategies all around.
I'm curious about your. I'm curious about what you think. Does host have any chance in this position? I mean, there are many tiles, many opportunities, but are there enough opportunities?
For the host?
Yeah, for host.
To counter this setup?
Well, to at least have a chance at a draw, I guess.
Yeah. I think, now I'm just sandboxing quickly. I think the host would need to be willing to sacrifice quite many tiles. But
Honestly,
I mean, going here with the Orchid, then Lotus can't jump very far. You would probably want to capture this. Would BuddhaofGaming do this? No, because then Lion Turtle is taken. So BuddhaofGaming would be probably forced to make this one, right? Now BuddhaofGaming is blocking himself, which means Izney has time to, I don't know, maybe move forward here, or probably even better get this Koi forward to have some more material in this area. I think there were some opportunities, but it might still have ended out with a win for BuddhaofGaming, of course. What would you say about that way to go forward in the game?
Yeah, I think you're right in a sense, to some extent. Also, the host position is quite messy, quite jumbled up. There's no real cohesion.
I agree.
Plus, the Lotus is quite far away and vulnerable. I'm not sure if host has chances. Perhaps host can delay the loss, but I don't think there are any real chances.
They do have tiles cluttered down here, that's right. Not much material. You might be right on that. But let's we're a bit on the clock. The grand finale games are supposed to start just around now, but I think we need to do just one more quick review. One game before we go into the grand finale. So do we have any suggestions here? Oh, we wanted to look on this game. Let me bring that forward here instead. So we won't do as many reviews as I hoped for, but it's okay. We're going to watch the game between FireNationSokka and Aurorabreeze to decide the young master. And a 63 move game. Okay, maybe it's a bit too... we won't go through the whole game, but we can go through some of the key aspects of it. There was a lot of jumping around for many moves, so we can pass quickly over that. But I think the favorite for the young master group was definitely FireNationSokka. They play really well. They've played for quite some time compared to Aurorabreeze. Aurorabreeze, if I remember correctly, just joined, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. Very, very short time ago. Maybe I remember, maybe I don't remember. I can see their writing now. So Yeah, 2 months. Still pretty new. But actually won the Young Masters group. And I love that. It shows that this tournament style works really well because, well, new players actually have a chance of getting quite far in a tournament. And I think that's a great way of getting people more interested. So, and then at the same time, Aurora just developed extremely quickly. She is already really, really good at Ginseng. So yeah, it's really cool. But let's go through this game quickly, and then we'll go to the grand finale. We have FireNation. Yeah, FireNationSokka is host. It's the green tiles. You know what? Let's do the other design for this one. Oh, 2 seconds. Freja? Vil du sætte opladet op for mig? En opladet til mig. Kan du sætte det op for mig? Jeg har 5%. Tusind tak. Alright, I'm back. We have FireNationSokka as host. And it's these purple tiles, which are a bit lighter background. And then Aurorabreeze as the guest with the blue tiles in the darker background. Alright, we have Koi forward. This is the first time we're seeing it in a reviewed game, this opener here. It is from FireNationSokka. It's I think it's a very interesting opener, and it plays really well with getting an offset lotus, pushing the lotus afterwards, and then being able to do some interesting strategies and jumps, and also being able to take the badger here, jump over, and with the wheel and make this threat. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that quickly.
That move, the badger and wheel move, is just the one I was thinking of. I was curious if there are possibilities to create or to use that in an opening, something not fortress centered like the classic way.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is.
I think it is a really interesting opener, and I've been exploring it quite a lot. Is Fortress still stronger? Maybe. If you go with this kind of opener, you won't as often make a Ginseng Fortress, in my experience. Yeah, there are possibilities. We have a fortress building up over here. Let me just do like this instead. Maybe even build like, there we go. And maybe FireNationSokka wants to match the fortress. It's not a fortress yet, but it's building up one. There we have it on our side. And FireNationSokka decides not to mirror the fortress, but advance the lotus instead. Interesting. And we have the lotus out from Aurora as well, and pieces can now capture. Orchid forward. I think this is an interesting move. It's developing the orchid into the center area. Orchids are always nice to have close to the center because of their ability. And at the same time, the lion turtle cannot capture this, because then the lion turtle is gone. Aurora pushes forward with their lion turtle. I think this is a very strong move. This is one of the reasons why I'm not so fan of how the Ginseng works right now, because it might be a bit overpowered that you can bring a lion turtle so far into your opponent's territory and still having it protected. It's eliminating the ability of the Ginseng, aka this lion turtle is not protected anymore. FireNationSokka takes dragon forward, and that's a free lion turtle.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one who's questioning how this game has 60 moves?
You'll see very soon. Would you call? Would you say this is a blunder from FireNationSokka, not mirroring the fortress?
It sure feels like one.
Yeah.
All the moves now feel like I don't know, complete craziness.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely not intuitive for
me. It just shows how extremely strong the Ginseng fortress is. Because if you do not mirror it, it's very difficult to play against. Unless you play very wide, and then you don't mirror anything at all. Then you don't want this line either. Then you want to keep your Ginsengs out here on the sides, protecting from the side, and try to play wide instead of on the center of the board. That can work, but I still think the one with the fortress would have a bit of an advantage. But as we see here, that's a free lion turtle, and Aurora has the advantage. Oh, and FireNationSokka
just up for the next game. Yeah, he's setting the tiles for the next guy.
Yeah. We have a lotus pole here. Getting ready to develop that a bit. Oh. Is that also a blunder?
At this point, I have no clue. I'll say no.
Okay. We'll see. So we just have some more development. Wheel for wheel there. Orchid goes forward. It's protected as well. So it can do some stuff. There is a koi that could potentially trap it, but we'll see. Wheel for wheel, and koi takes wheel. Buys forward. Much of this right now is just trying to develop some more tiles, getting ready for some action, it seems like. We have these lines here, and now FireNationSokka is playing wide. Getting the Ginsengs out, and then trying to do something from the more outer parts of the board. More material to the center from Aurora. Oh, that's an interesting move. So here the orchid is boosted by the bison, and therefore it can actually reach the other orchid, removing some more material, making it more difficult for FireNationSokka to advance the lotus. Pushing the bison forward. Koi takes bison. Yeah, I was about to say, I was wondering why FireNationSokka didn't make this move, but of course they can't because there's a lion turtle here. Again, it shows just how powerful a lion turtle that far in the opponent's territory is. Koi takes koi. And we have an orchid being developed here. So FireNationSokka is really trying to build for this, getting their lotus to the midline, and then can be pushed by the dragon. We'll see. Yeah, Izney goes. Oh, yeah, Aurora goes one back, blocking the line. And then again, had this been an offset lotus, this would have been a really, really good move, and probably somewhat easier for FireNationSokka to win.
You would have forced a trade for a lion turtle for badger one.
Yeah.
Most likely.
That's true. Yeah, so maybe it wouldn't change much. Orchid. also goes where the action is and trying to be ready to make some counter. Yeah, I like this move. So right now this orchid is threatening this badge mole. FireNationSokka brings their orchid in, so the orchid can't reach the badge mole, even though it's being boosted by the bison. It can only take the other orchid. And that's also what happens. FireNationSokka really shifting their game to the white garden here. Core protected.
I like how the bison is just standing there, doing nothing. Then other tiles come around it, get boosted, then go away, and other tiles come.
That is a really interesting idea, yeah. Because they also used it with their other orchid, I think.
Yeah, with both.
Yeah. Now we have Koi going forward. Maybe we'll see this line turtle going forward again. Oh. Oh yeah, of course. That's an evil move. So there's a Ginseng over here. And which means that Aurora can take the badge mole and not risk anything. Ouch.
I think move your cursor a bit. I think the stream is frozen.
Oh.
That would be.
Is it still frozen? Yeah, I can just start it over.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's on my part. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll stop streaming and then stream again. Alright, hopefully we're back. Is it working? Seems like.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, go back a couple of moves.
Yeah. So we have.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I think FireNationSokka is making the right decision, trying to shift to the white garden, because Aurora is also like a bit back with these tiles, and then some mostly developed in the white garden, which might give FireNationSokka some more space in their white garden, and that might also be the reason why Aurora takes the Ginseng around here, because they're acknowledging that, okay, FireNationSokka is going this way, I need to have something to stop them from winning from their white garden. This Koi goes forward. These Ginsengs are not protected right now, kind of vulnerable. Lion Turtle takes badge mole and is still protected. And FireNationSokka is writing get ready for blunder number 2. We'll see. Koi takes Ginseng. What do you think about this move?
Well, I don't know, but I thought about some moves ago. It's an interesting plan that FireNationSokka could have employed here. No, like a move. Here. Instead of moving the Koi, perhaps. Yeah, I think it would have been right. Pulling the Lotus with the Badgermon towards the gate. Yeah, there. Going there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's.
I think it's a powerful threat.
Yeah. I want to bring it forward here just quickly. I know we don't have much time, but what? Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think it's I think you're right, because then you'd have Badgemole, Lion Turtle, Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Lotus.
Yeah.
But these tiles cannot reach. So they would need
Mm-hmm.
to maybe land turtle here, something like that. Maybe even here, right?
Yeah, and if
But then you have the ginseng going here.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
That would mean probably their ginseng going here. Something happens. Bashing
Yeah,
wall.
you are right,
Oh,
actually.
that could be a win. That could have been.
Could it?
I think it could be a win for FireNationSokka actually. Yeah, because okay, weird move 18G. So let me just quickly sandbox this. If FireNation, I think this is a great idea you have, Emmanuel, because if FireNationSokka makes this move, this can't take anything. This can't take anything either. What would you think, Emmanuel, of making this move here? Would that be the right one to take?
That is logical. Perhaps a spot lower.
So
Perhaps.
like perhaps
Because then
here.
you can, yeah, yeah, you can capture the ginseng
That's true.
if it protects.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right, and that is way better. So that would mean FireNationSokka would do this. Do we agree that
Yeah, then
this would happen? Line
yeah, I think
takes
that's
ginseng.
forced.
Yeah. And then we have this one as well. Okay, so it wouldn't be a win, but it's really, really close, right? You would have to.
Yeah, it's very close.
Well, wait a second, because if you want to stop what's going on here, you have to develop your bison, right? But probably.
Well, you have your.
You probably have to go here
This
actually.
is the offset. Yeah, there.
Because
yeah, I think that's the best.
Yeah, because if you go forward, then Corey traps it and it's game over. So Aurora would be forced to go here.
Yeah.
And then there's not much to do for FireNationSokka probably. Protecting here. Yeah, it could go many ways. But I think that is that was an interesting take, interesting idea, Emmanuel, to pull the Lotus over instead. Whoops.
We were at 18.
Yeah.
I don't know, let's see. Maybe if we're entering a boring end game, perhaps we could just
Yeah,
it's
I think it's basically over soon. So we have Dragon takes this core.
In a 40-ish moves or so.
Whoops. Sorry, 2 seconds. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah. Dragon takes this core. Dragon goes forward, threatening the Lotus, obviously. I think this forces... Maybe they wanted to, maybe some other things would have been... They could also protect... In our Auror's case here, either you have to say, okay, I'll let go of my lion turtle to just make sure that FireNation keeps their Lotus in the game.
You're not actually letting go of the turtle because there's no one.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I think the better move would have been to protect the Lotus.
Yeah.
Because now you can still capture the tiles.
Yeah.
I agree. You keep your capturing abilities and your domination.
Yeah.
Regardless, both are.
By making this move, Aurora is basically giving FireNationSokka a chance to make a draw. And that's what is being fighting for them, like many moves. Now it's just jumping around. I'm just fast forwarding here. And I think we should basically just go to some of the end moves. It's been jumping around a lot, and there's been some exchanges in the temples as well. We have here just some of the last moves. Or is pushing their Lotus back to have it offset, which can come in handy, right?
where did the dragon come from? Oh, never mind.
There's been some exchanges for the ginseng. One of the
Oh,
ginsengs are gone. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter regardless.
This is such an interesting end game, but I don't think we have time for it. But anyways, we have here FireNationSokka really fighting for keeping that Lotus away. But in the end, the setup was just made perfect for Aurora to jump over. Yeah, it would have been nice to dive a bit deeper into this endgame right here. Perhaps we can do it another time, but I think we need to move on and start the grand finales because we're 20 minutes late. So we should do that now. But yeah, GG, well played both of you. And FireNationSokka, I think it's really well played that you held out for around 40 plus moves with the tiles you had. So that definitely shows some quality as well, and also shows why you're the one who came second in the Young Master group. Well played, and congratulations to Aurorabreeze. We will now.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. We will now set up the grand finales between Grandmaster Kartofelbest, between Master Master sorry, BuddhaofGaming. There we have it.
I'm sorry, I don't.
I was really sure. I was like, wait, was it Izney? Then I'm like, no, it's not Izney. Who is it? But yeah, so Grandmaster Kartofelbest, Master BuddhaofGaming, and Young Master Aurorabreeze. And yeah, unfortunately, Aurora, the people playing are not allowed to listen in. Obviously, you can be around and you can just deafen us. But it's mostly so we don't end up giving away any strategies for either player. So, setting up the games now. The grand finale. And we have Grandmaster Kartofelbest, need to check if I'm doing this right. Would be awful to set them up in the wrong order. Yeah. So Grandmaster versus Master BuddhaofGaming. There we have it. And then we have Master BuddhaofGaming against Young Master Aurorabreeze. And then last we have Young Master against the Grandmaster. So by setting up the games like this, it means that everybody gets to play host and guest. Emmanuel and I will watch the games live and commentate them, and the players will have about 1 hour to finish their games. We aren't super strict with the time, but it's preferable that it's held to around 1 hour maximum. But don't sweat about it. If you need more time, don't worry. But yeah, I'm gonna open these games, and we'll already have some movement going on. I'll make sure that all of them are opened. And last but not least, there we go. All right. And all games are already going. We have Kartofelbest as the host and BuddhaofGaming as the guest. Kartofelbest down here, BuddhaofGaming up here. And here we have the BuddhaofGaming as host, so switched around, and Aurorabreeze as guest. And lastly, we have Aurorabreeze as host and Kartofelbest as the guest. We can do as before, Emmanuel, where I'll just kind of take people through the games and then you break in when you have some interesting commentaries.
Yeah, I will do that.
So here to begin with, we have Dragon Opener. I don't think I've seen this kind of opener before, so maybe BuddhaofGaming is trying to use a new strategy they've worked on solely for this game. Very interesting. And
yeah, it's prep. It's prep. Kartofelbest is quite. He's gonna lose, I'm sure.
Sorry?
Never mind, whatever.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, then we have Bison Opener here. It's going so quick that we can't. Okay, we have Lotus going out with the Bajmal on both sides. Interesting. People are beginning to apply the opener. Ginseng coming in here. Maybe if we're building forward. If you have a Ginseng on this line from one side, then you also have to do it, right? So lining up the Ginsengs. And that's where we're at now. Then in the game between the BuddhaofGaming, who are playing host, who's playing host down here, and Aurorabreeze up here. Let's see what happens. Aurorabreeze going forward with Koi, and the BuddhaofGaming decides to almost mirror it, but also going forward with the Koi and not the dragon. Ginseng in, Ginseng to the middle, and that's where they went to. Bison Opener from Kartofelbest, playing as guest in this game against Aurorabreeze with a Koi opener. So Aurora has made the same opener in both her moves. So staying to a specific style across playing host and guest. So what do we have here? We have the Ginseng. Both Lotuses out. Tiles can be captured now. Ginseng Fortress already. And Aurora is also getting ready for Ginseng Fortress. And there we have it. So this is moving forward. And Aurora needs to take her Ginseng in. Emmanuel, what do you think about the Ginseng Fortress? You also apply it a lot. And we're definitely going to see it in 2 games, it looks like, out of 3. And yeah, what do you think about the Ginseng Fortress in general?
I don't hate it. It's interesting in a sense. Because it's slower. Uh, you'll have more time for an interesting game. Um, but at the same time, because of course, in the current rule set, the ginseng protects well has unlimited protection. That's quite unbalanced. So yeah, I like the games that it produces, but it's definitely not balanced. So um, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right on that. Would you say that games where the Ginseng Fortress is applied, are they more predictable?
Well, it does in a sense follow a formula, but I would say they're quite so predictable because there are many decisions one can make behind the fortress. It shapes the game behind and in front, but perhaps most of the impactful decisions are behind the fortress.
Hmm.
So yeah, it is a formula, but it's not predictable.
Hmm.
You know, that's why it's sort of a system of play. Um,
Yeah, I think that's a
kind
very
of like kind of like medieval castles. You know what to expect, but it's still uh, there's still work to be done.
hmm.
So yeah, there's still
I definitely think that's
playing.
an interesting take, that it's not as much the fortress that shapes the game, but maybe the tiles behind it or around it. And I think you're pretty much hitting the nail on the head there, because oftentimes with a fortress, the tiles that are being protected are quite stuck. Because no player wants to move them, it might mean that you're sacrificing tiles. So, yeah, very interesting take. Let's head to Kartofelbest versus BuddhaofGaming. And again, just for clarity, Kartofelbest is the host, it's these tiles down here, and the BuddhaofGaming is guest, it's these tiles up here. So, what has happened since last time? We're seeing a fortress from the BuddhaofGaming, and we're also seeing it from Kartofelbest. Okay, and the BuddhaofGaming rushes this line circle forward and really controls
I think
a key area here.
yeah, I think it's an interesting move. It's definitely perhaps a good move in this position, but because you take control of the territory, and now you see the host position is quite cramped. Um, so it's hard to move
Yeah,
in that position.
yeah,
So definitely having an advantage by controlling that much territory.
yeah. And I think what Kartofelbest needs to be aware about now and be careful about is that um, if the BuddhaofGaming takes, because we've seen the BuddhaofGaming doing this in the first game we in or maybe that was some other players. But anyways, if the BuddhaofGaming relocates this ginseng here, then this turtle can go down here, right? So I think Kartofelbest needs to really be aware of where are these ginseng tiles ending up, and how do I make sure that the lion turtle doesn't get even further down into my territory. Because right now, this lion turtle will just be stuck here. This lion turtle will be stuck here. Kartofelbest does have a disadvantage, and it really has to be careful about where they place their tiles. It's not the worst to have your Lotus captured. Definitely not at this time of the game. So honestly, I don't know what you think about that, Emmanuel, but I wouldn't worry much about my Lotus getting captured at this state. I wouldn't be afraid of moving it here, for example. It's not probably not the best move in this situation, but I don't think it would make sense for the Buddha of Gaming to capture the Lotus there.
Well, I think it would. I'm not sure, because if it is captured, but you cannot take it out of the temple after that, it would be quite disadvantageous, I'd say.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if Lotus goes here, then the only tile that can capture it is the Lion Turtle, so that goes here. Then you can take the Lotus out here, for example. Now Lion Turtle is vulnerable, it's not protected. So it'll probably just move back. And now you have your Lotus in a new location and you can maybe shift to playing more wide. But it's still so early game, so it's probably hard to say anything.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting take. It's an interesting idea.
And we also have a move here from Kartofelbest going all the way forward.
Yeah, taking territory is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a counter to the Lion Turtle.
Yeah. For sure. That's probably also what Kartoffel is thinking. Taking territories, it's always good, and even though the Bison is not as good as the Lion Turtle at all, honestly, but because of their abilities, but it's still a tile that can capture, so it's still threatening a lot just by being up here in their space. So yeah, definitely interesting. It also means that if the Buddha of Gaming would suddenly want to move their Ginseng here, then this just goes even further. Right, let's see one of the other games. So what we have here, yes, this was the game with the rather quick Ginseng Fortress. And again, for clarity, this time Buddha of Gaming is host, so down here, and Aurorabreeze is guest up here. Aurorabreeze is the first to take their Lotus out. And then the Buddha of Gaming is following that move.
Yeah, fair enough, taking territory.
Yeah, exactly. And here the Buddha of Gaming is, even though he is using Ginseng Fortresses in both games, in this game he's not taking the territory. He's letting the Lotus stay here, or the Lion Turtle stay here. And which means that yeah, he prioritizes Lotus movement, but that means that Aurora can take more territory with their Lion Turtle. It feels like kind of opposite of this game, right? So interesting. Oh, this is already on 11 moves. Aurora versus Kartofelbest. For clarity, Aurora is the host. Down here, the purple tiles, and Kartofelbest is up here, the blue tiles. Let's see what's been going on here. So we had Aurora with the same opener with the Koi, and with also taking the Lotus out rather quickly. And we have the Ginseng fortresses again. Kartofelbest in this game is the one taking territory. In their game against theBuddhaofGaming, it's theBuddhaofGaming who takes the territory. Oh, and goes all the way down on this as well, actually, here. It's interesting to see how these games are actually quite, like, they very much remind of each other. The guest is doing kind of the same thing in all the games, and the host is doing the same thing as well in all the games.
Yeah, but it's definitely not to be thought as bad or anything like that. Quite interesting. We can having this this level of familiarity with or across all games could really prove to be a good background for the interesting strategies
Very
that
true.
differentiate
Yeah.
between the games. So
yeah, for sure. It would be so interesting creating an AI bot to just play against itself and see what strategies would develop. But right, let's see here.
I think we're more likely to find out how unbalanced the game is.
Probably. There's always a win in 3 moves. What? Okay, so we have Badgermole flips Lotus here. Is this a blunder? It's a free Badgermole almost. It's definitely taken. So Kartofelbest takes the Badgermole. Wheel takes wheel. Koi traps Koi. Oh, this is a good move. I think this is a really good move from Kartofelbest. No matter what, this tile is gone. Because right now it's trapped, it cannot move. This one is as well, obviously. But this Koi is not protected. So either Aurorabreeze has to go here, take the Koi, but then this one goes here. I guess that's just a Koi for a Koi. But it opens up. So then Kartofelbest can go here and remove the ability of both Ginseng tiles. This is really genius move by Kartofelbest. I think that's very well played right here. And that is exactly what happens.
Yeah, but there was an opportunity to prevent that. So
yeah, instead of taking the Orchid forward.
Yeah, I could have developed the Bison, for example. It would have been a far more useful move.
I agree.
Is it develop a Bender and protect your fortress?
Yeah. This also means that Aurora has to relocate the Ginseng. So now protecting the Lotus again. And since this is not doing anything anymore, Bison takes Land Turtle. Oof, this is looking tough. But it is the Grandmaster against the Master. So it would make sense, right? So Aurorabreeze completely shifting their Ginsengs. Huh. And then Kartofelbest going all the way over here. Do you think they might think this is a Ginseng? Or maybe they're just ready to sacrifice it for an Orchid because both players loses a tile.
Perhaps, I'm not actually sure. Kind of a weird looking move.
Yeah.
Because of the board domination that Guest has, it's logical to trade tiles.
And in
But I'm not
terms,
sure if that's the way
no, I
to do
agree.
it.
In terms of material, it's not. If you just look at the number of captured tiles, it's not a major difference. But when you look at what tiles are captured, it's definitely a major difference. We'll see how it
Yeah, but at the
develops.
same time,
Sorry.
Kartoffel doesn't have depend like the Badgermon and the Dragon are both in the back doing nothing, chilling
Yeah, that's very
in the
true.
break room having a coffee.
Yeah. The best coffee in the world of Paisho. Alright, let's jump to Kartofelbest and BuddhaofGaming. And it seems like the games with the BuddhaofGaming are going a bit slower. So, which I think is fine because then we have time to go through it. Yeah.
Look, the Ginseng move you were talking about has been made.
Yeah, exactly. So Kartofelbest went forward with their Bison, kind of mirroring this move, just to have some threatens up here. The BuddhaofGaming shifts their Ginseng. Now is Kartofelbest aware? Yes, he is. But Lionel can still go here and remove the ability of this one. And then afterwards, just continue. That's also what happens. Alright. Oh. Maybe Kartofelbest wanted that to happen.
Yeah, perhaps, but now you can move the Lion Turtle backhand.
Yeah.
There's another problem.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, and then Lionel going back. Okay. I think Kartofelbest is really playing some interesting strategical moves here because so by doing this, I don't know how much they actually thought this through, but maybe they did. The Kartofelbest is a great player. By doing this, they let the BuddhaofGaming go here, right? They will know that, okay, this is a possible move. They probably will do it. But then just by pushing this Ginseng, then BuddhaofGaming has just misused the whole turn because now they'll just move back. And the same here. Now this line is protected, so Bison takes Dragon. And this is also still
Oh, the
protected.
Dragon is protected.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, I think.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, but there's still a threat blocking the Ginseng with the Bison.
Oh yeah, that's right. Going here with the Bison.
So yeah.
So Dragon goes in.
It's
BuddhaofGaming sees that and pushes.
It's quite smart. It's quite smart because if you compare the positions from like 2 or 3 moves ago to the position here,
yeah, it's changed a lot.
The difference? No, not really. That's what I'm trying to say. The host position has changed quite a bit, but the guest hasn't. Look, you see?
Yeah.
Now host position is less cluttered. There's a bit more room.
The host position is what? Sorry.
A bit less cluttered.
A
bit less.
Yeah, I think that Dragon push helped a lot. Yeah, and as Smug Izney is writing in the chat, it's definitely a cool sequence of moves. And of course, even though the Bison is being pushed, it can just go back immediately. Do you think, Emmanuel, is it necessary for Kartofelbest to move the Bison back? Or should he have done something else?
Well, now the threat is capturing the Bison. I think that's the point.
Of course. Yeah, because it can reach.
Infiltrate. Yeah, you can then take the Badger more.
Yeah.
You'd be in a fair enough position, I guess.
Yeah.
That's still comfortable, but like good enough.
Very interesting. Who would you say there is one side right now who is in a better position?
Well, I think the Buddha of Gaming is definitely in a comfortable position, but who knows?
Hmm.
Quite dynamic and tough. That's for sure. It's a tough position.
Yeah. What do you think makes the Buddha of Gaming's position very comfortable?
What is the control? The line turtle, firstly.
Yeah.
It's really suppressing a lot of hosts' moves.
Yeah.
It forces basically host to react to guest moves. So yeah, you have a lot of a lot of ways to advance.
Hmm. Yeah, and at the same time,
Firstly, you have
continue.
yeah. Firstly, you'd have to deal with the bison. That's for sure.
Hmm.
But after that, I think you're quite comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the same time, their pieces, Buddha of Gaming's pieces aren't as cluttered as well. So, like this koi right now, it's not going any really great places, but the koi here has much farther places to go, and yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, let's check out the other game we have here. For clarity, Buddha of Gaming is host. It's these tiles down here. Buddha of Gaming. And then Aurorabreeze is up here as the guest. So where did we come from? We have the lotuses are out. We already have the Ginseng fortresses. And the Buddha of Gaming, we mentioned, prioritized lotus movement instead of territory. Would you say, Emmanuel, is in general, is it better to prioritize territory instead of lotus movement? Yeah, I know this definitely depends on the state of the game, but can you is there a general line here? Is one of them overall the best to prioritize? And what do you think is
Well,
best in this situation as well?
well, no, I don't think there's. I mean, the two go hand in hand. You can't have lotus movement without having places where to move the lotus, without having territory. So the two definitely go hand in hand. It's more of um, it's more of an ordering thing. You first go for territory, then for movement. You know.
Yeah.
So I think Aurora here really has the right foot forward to say,
Yeah.
put it like that.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. So we had that line shuttle going forward from Aurora. Buddha of Gaming shifting their Ginseng. We've seen that in their other game as well, shifting the Ginseng. Doing the exact same move, trying to get the line shuttle here.
yeah, it seems to be a theme with his game.
Yeah. And what do we have here? So this jumped, and Aurora actually lets that happen. So the line shuttle does go there. And now, and also the lotus is offset. Ginseng goes back. Interesting. Maybe it's just to protect this line right here, of course. But that means there's a free dragon. Yeah, what do you have to say?
Well, firstly, It's annoying. Yeah, it was a mistake to allow the lion turtle to go there. I mean,
Yeah.
get in front of that specific ginseng. So
Yeah.
because now, um, yeah, there's no stopping that turtle, and that's the big issue. It's a huge issue, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge issue with the game.
This maybe shows again why the ginseng needs to be changed a bit. This song is a bit irritating. Hope it ends soon. I don't know if you're listening to the music.
Well, I'm not. I closed it.
Yeah.
At the beginning. I don't remember why, but I closed it anyway.
Good for you, anyways. Oh no, the song is finished. Thank God. All right. Yeah, okay, so the ginseng goes back to keep protecting the lion turtle, but that means that's a free dragon right there. Oh. Okay, this is interesting, because then we have, since the lion turtle is so much forward as it is, it means that Aurorabreeze can take their lotus or core right here.
Move back a bit. Move back a bit.
Oh yeah.
I want to see where the turtle was before capturing.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah. No.
turtle could reach it.
Mm-hmm.
But then this
Yeah.
move, and there's nothing that's going to take that. Yeah.
Very smart.
And that means right now it's definitely like this lion turtle is gone unless BuddhaofGaming wants to. No, BuddhaofGaming can't do anything about it. This lion turtle is gone now.
Yeah.
Because all these are trapped.
Yeah.
And even if this ginseng was not trapped, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it could go to these spots, but that doesn't matter because there's a lion turtle here. And it also cannot reach the lion turtle. Yeah, this is a really, I think this is a really strong move from Aurora. I would definitely want to ask her afterwards if that was, like, if she had seen that coming when she let the BuddhaofGaming go this way. But I guess we'll find out later. Okay, that's very interesting. Right, let's check out this game. Oh, this is already very far. Might be easiest to just go here. For clarity, Aurorabreeze is host. The tiles down here, and Kartofelbest is guest. The tiles up here. So just trying to go to the place we went to. We have the Ginseng fortresses against each other. We have Kartofelbest taking a lot of territory. And we have Aurorabreeze kind of mirroring that. But not going all the way. Interesting. Wheel takes wheel. Bison takes wheel. Oh yeah, there we had that perhaps blunder from Aurorabreeze. It's a free Badgermole. Almost. A wheel for a Badgermole. Whoops. Where were we? Let me go a bit quicker here. We're seeing this. Oh, okay. They're playing too fast. Let me just do it in sandbox instead then. Oops. Alright, I sandboxed it, so now they can't. Now the moves doesn't matter. It's just so interesting how some of the same moves are happening. Because here you have the quarry trapping the quarry like this. Which we also have had here. In this game. Just interesting seeing the same dynamics again and again in just these 3 tournament games. But in this case...
Yeah, well... we are playing the same game. 3 games of the same rules.
Yeah, that's true. I need to remember who was hosting guest. Aurorabreeze host, Kartofelbest is guest. Alright. So Kartofelbest is the one going forward here. You almost feel like there's a jump for the Lotus, but it's just off. Should have been there, then there. So close enough though. But Aurorabreeze takes the koi, which means there's a free koi again. We saw in another game. Oh wait, we have seen these sequences of moves. That's why it looks familiar.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my bad. Okay, I think this was where we went to. The orchid came forward instead of.
Well, no, I think we were a bit farther in the game.
Oh yeah.
We went through this and this. There's a.
That's right. This was where it ended. The bison moving. And Aurora has shifted their fortress to not be on the same line as the other Ginsengs. Ginseng comes forward. Nothing can reach. It's gaining some territory.
Yeah. I think the point is to block the peril.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Oh, but not yet.
And that didn't happen for some reason.
Interesting. I'm wondering what is Kartofelbest doing with their bison? Well, okay, first of all, why is Aurora not taking...
Yeah, the bison's on a journey. He wants to die or something.
Yeah. And why is Aurora not taking the bison? That's interesting. Okay. But then develops their own bison here instead of making this move that you saw. And then Kartofelbest just continues with the bison. Doesn't care about it at all. And the dragon and the Bashimul are still having a coffee party or tea party.
A lunch break, I guess.
Lunch break. So Kartofelbest is straight out sacrificing their bison. Kartofelbest is just like, I don't like the bison. It needs to go. Izney is writing, the only reason I could think of is that they think the orchids are ginseng. Yeah, maybe. So interesting. They definitely could think if they're playing with these tiles because they are made from the same, use the same leaf for the orchids and the ginsengs. Still pretty different though. Anyways, Kartofelbest hates his bison, so he's just sacrificing it. Yeah, this is a good move. Nothing can take it anyways.
For some reason I thought that it could be taken. I have no clue whatever.
Yeah, I would have thought that as well. And Aurora is taking dragon forward. Oh, that's a tough move. Kartofelbest taking this massive protection line of ginseng, and then now this ginseng is not protecting this lotus. There we have it, but it's too late. It's too late. Because now it can just go over here, it takes the dragon. I wonder if Aurora is actually playing for a draw right now.
I don't see how you...
No, probably not. Is this... What? I'm so confused about their strategies here. What is Kartofelbest doing? Just straight out sacrificing the dragon for an orchid. Makes no sense.
Well, I mean, if you want to play for a draw with an orchid, well, this is only purely theoretical. I have not yet encountered this. But the idea is, since the orchid's ability is to disappear, you can leave it as the last tile
Yeah,
and then trade it.
that's true.
Because if it's taken, it's a draw, and if you capture, it's a draw. So it's
But
a draw.
why would Kartofelbest make this move?
Or maybe just for trades.
Okay.
He's so up in tiles that's just logical.
Interesting.
Now take the yeah.
Okay. Now we've caught up to it. Let's see how many moves it's on. I want to continue this game just for a bit. Oh, it's done.
No, it's a win for it.
Whoa. What other games? Other games finished? No. Okay, let's quickly go through this then. That was caps lock. Okay, let's see. We were around move 21. Yeah.
Here.
So Aurorabreeze exchanges for Badgermole. Land Turtle takes the Ginseng. Aurorabreeze going down with the Badgermole, but Land Turtle takes Ginseng again. Yeah, there's really not much Aurorabreeze can do. And protecting Land Turtle here. Because of course they don't want to, if this Badgermole is captured, then they want to make sure that Aurorabreeze can still make moves, which they would be able to do now because they would just indefinitely jump over this Lion Turtle. And this is a good move of Aurorabreeze. It forces Kartofelbest to take the Lotus. In this case, the game is lost because only one tile. But if Aurorabreeze had more tiles and could force Kartofelbest to take the Lotus early on, it might have been easier for Aurorabreeze to play for a draw. So what do we see here? Badgermole going forward with the Lotus. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not harsh.
That's harsh. That's game over. Oh. Boom. Okay. That's just showing some evil strategy and evil play from Kartofelbest's side. But what a great game.
Yeah, sure.
And honestly, I mean, Aurorabreeze have played for 2 months, became the Young Master, and held out a game against the Grandmaster for 30 moves. I think that in itself is very impressive. Only having played for 2 months.
It was a good game.
Do you think? What do you think was there like a key move, or was there something that? Do you think there was something specific, or Greece could have done differently?
Yeah, there was like there was the blunder. I think you know what I'm referring to. Not protecting the fortress. Go back to like I don't know. I don't even know what the move was.
Is it
here?
Badgermole?
Here.
Yeah.
Oh no. One more. Yeah, this was a mistake, and this was the blunder, moving the orchid. It's actually lost the game.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah, this decisively lost the game.
So
this was definitely.
So we want to ask about. I'll just put this in the chat so remember. We would want to ask about move 10H. Maybe. Okay. So you think should they have done instead?
As I said, developing the dragon there.
Yeah.
No, the dragon.
Okay.
That would have been because the dragon is farther back.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Moving it closer would be much better. And then the game mode of being fortress on fortress, yeah, Guess does have more territory. It is a tough play, but it's not a loss.
Yeah, and could even get could even get Batumul or Quebec with the orchids.
Yeah, the number of tiles is still equal. Yeah, the benders, not the number is. So you still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was the faithful mistake.
Yeah.
Faithful, faithful. I think is the right word. Whatever.
Makes sense. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, great game, and congratulations to Kartofelbest on winning this one. Let's see what's going on in some of the other moves here. And in the chat, Kartofelbest is writing, this is similar to how you've beaten me before. Maybe foreshadowing the outcome of the game. We'll see. But BuddhaofGaming writing, you mean the one and only time? Kartofelbest being savage as usual. Has it only been once? I don't know. Probably. Nice. And Kartofelbest, I'm gonna keep it that way. Which is definitely some tough talk when the opponent has the Lotus on the mid lane. Fair enough. BuddhaofGaming has the Lotus on the mid lane. Kartofelbest has the Lotus all the way back. This
is very interesting. I'm really curious to see the development because this was quite a tough game.
Yeah.
When we left it.
Buddha was guest, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Just so we remember. So let's go a bit back here. Oh yeah, we've seen these moves. So we had, just to summarize, this Ginseng here, the Lion Turtle coming down, then the Dragon push. Lion Turtle going back, and then the Ginseng just going farther, threatening this area here. Push, going back. Okay, so that's the counter to that. This was the move we had come to. Wheel goes in. Threatens this Ginseng and protects the Bison, because now this Bison cannot reach. But it's still a sacrifice of this wheel. What do you think about that move?
I'm actually not sure because, well, even here you can capture the Ginseng with the Lion Turtle and then capture the Bison, and you have a Ginseng and a Bison for a Lion Turtle, which is definitely not bad. Yeah.
Though that is not what happens. BuddhaofGaming decides to focus on Lotus mobility.
Sacrificing the Bison for the Lotus move.
Yeah. And sacrificing the Lion Turtle.
Oh yeah, I think this is definitely not good.
That's very interesting.
I'm very skeptical of this. This looks not so good. Because now Host has no territorial pressure because the leading tile of the attack is the Lotus.
You mean the guest, right? The guest has no territory.
No, the host doesn't have any more territorial pressure. There's no more pressure on the. I mean, now, yeah. Anyway, Giz doesn't have that control over even the center as much.
Yeah, because it's just the Lotus here.
Yeah,
True.
The Lotus isn't gonna lead an attack.
Yeah.
And less tiles now. Guest is 3 tiles down.
Yeah.
For 0.
Yeah, that's true. It's not very good. Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe the Grandmaster is just in a different league. Well, they practically are, and maybe they also are when it comes to the level of the game. But that's also a cool part of this tournament, that it's you have these 3 groups, and then everybody has a chance to get a nice title, and even a young master or a master can also surprise in the grand finale. In this grand finale, it looks like Kartofelbest might be making the better moves. But let's see what happens. Okay, I think this move, really just focusing on Lotus movement right now, BuddhaofGaming. This move is just to take the Bajamol down here afterwards and get this up here, setting up for a win. Not just a win, that would even be a Shengli, right? If they get to do that. But they don't. Yeah, because now we have this. But because of the Lion Turtle, there is no pulling over here and there is no pushing here. This is a really crucial spot for the Lion Turtle. And it's protected. Alright. Okay, and nothing has happened since, actually. So,
and it is a tough position.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you about. What do you think about this position for guest and for host?
Well, it is interesting because the cramped situation that was at the beginning is definitely felt in this position, because even though host is 3 tiles up, there aren't any working tiles at the moment to help. Whilst guest has 2 benders, even though it's a bender for his. He is a bender and a turtle down. So it's definitely interesting. I don't know how. I'm not sure I see a way for host forward. Well, there is definitely a way.
And Monk Izney just wrote in the chat, this position is an excellent example of why I think the Orchid is great in its current state. So being that the Orchid shouldn't be changed in the rules, because it can remove itself and of obviously the tally captures. Very interesting. And here we have a move. There's a threat. Obviously can't pull it over because of the Lion Turtle. But we do have a threat. And it's now I think we're gonna see what Monk Izney just talked about. Because Kartofelbest can take this Orchid, he does, and remove the badge mole, and because of the Orchid's ability, the Orchid is also removed. What a powerful tile that is, even though it's the one we've rated as, the ground 0, no, but the ground 1 for rating the other tiles. Then in some positions the Orchid is absolutely vital for continuing the game, because by doing this both tiles are removed. The Lion Turtle is now protected again. The Lotus is going nowhere. Emmanuel, how valuable would you say that the Orchid is in this position? Whoops, what's happening here? Sorry. Here we go. How valuable would you say the orchid is in this position right now? Is it, I mean, it's valuable.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, in this position it is.
Maybe even the most valuable tile on the board. I guess you can't call it valuable because then you would want to keep it. Can you still call it valuable when you actually use it just to have it disappear? Is that also making it valuable, or should we use another
I
term
don't
for
know.
it?
Sounds fine to me. Doesn't really matter. It is quite useful, not gonna lie.
All right. So we have this excellent move from Kartofelbest, and then another win threat from the theBuddhaofGaming. This time there's not an orchid close enough, so something else has to come up, and it's the dragon. Let's go to the game between our master and young master. We have, again just for clarity, the theBuddhaofGaming is host, which is the light tiles down here, and Aurorabreeze is the guest, and the darker tiles up here. I'm going to sandbox this just so it doesn't jump around. Do you remember where we got to?
Yeah, here. Yeah, here. Yeah, it's a fair move.
Yeah, because the line shuttle is being sacrificed now.
Yeah.
Do you think what Ginseng do you think? Buddha is host, right?
Yes.
Let me double check here. Yeah. What Ginseng do you think theBuddhaofGaming should have captured? This one or this one?
I'd say the second one because
This one?
it doesn't allow for more development for host or guest. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because if you capture the other one now, if the badger moves forward and the lotus moves forward, we're freeing that up.
And that's also what we see.
Plus, there's another reason. If you capture the other ginseng, then never mind. Oh, never mind. Actually, you're helping develop the bison.
The bison?
So I guess, yeah,
Can you explain
the
that?
bison captures. Well, if you capture the second ginseng, then the bison is forced to capture. Forced. I mean, it
yeah, I
will
understand.
capture.
Yeah, because you don't want to use an orchid on that when you can still keep the
Yeah.
orchid. Makes sense. And also another reason why this is not the better option. Well, okay, there is one thing. You're eliminating this line. So
Yeah, but it's not as useful.
Yeah, I definitely think I agree with you. But that might be what Buddha is thinking about. Lion turtle for lion turtle. Another thing is, by taking this, as you mentioned, then Badgermill can bring this over. But Badgermill can also bring it over here. And then the Lotus and the Badgermill is protected. So it's a really convenient situation for Aurorabreeze. And theBuddhaofGaming brings obviously enough dragging forward because they want to capture the land turtle. This core is not going to capture anything because they're trapping each other. Aurorabreeze has time to protect. Interesting move.
Yeah, why not just capture? Oh,
I think.
because then you're sacrificing the fortress.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good move from Buddha.
It's an interesting move. I'm not sure if it's too good because you can't do much here.
Yeah, I agree, but I think capturing it would probably mean.
No, capturing is definitely.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
loss.
capturing is definitely bad.
Yeah, that would be a lost position for BuddhaofGaming probably. Interesting. Okay, so wheel goes into threat.
I guess it's to defend the.
To defend the core makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a second defense by capture.
Yeah. If you take my core, I'll take your tile. Oh, but there was an orchid. Once I go again, showing how great the orchid is.
I did not notice that.
This is a great move from BuddhaofGaming. Both the dragon move, I think, and this orchid move is really a great combination of moves.
Yeah, I've not noticed that. That's true.
Wheel takes wheel. BuddhaofGaming can ignore it because right now the Bajamol is protected. So instead they focus on gaining some more territory and threatening the Lotus. And that's where we are at. Move 13H. There we go. Okay, 2 moves happened since. So Aurorabreeze moves the Lotus out of the way. I think that makes sense. Was there a better move here? Would it be better to just move the Ginseng one back? What do you think?
It would have been captured. Regardless, there's nowhere to move it without being the ability for it to be captured.
And there we have the Ginseng being captured. So now Aurorabreeze is in a pretty difficult position because Aurorabreeze has no Ginseng left. Tiles cannot be protected anymore. This means Aurorabreeze needs to stay out of this line right here. I think as long as Aurorabreeze is staying out of this line, it will oftentimes more often be a trade than just free capture. But obviously it's
I don't think it does actually matter.
Even if the tiles are
there's no protection. The Lotus will fall anyway.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Lotus, of course.
Not the Lotus. Well, catching the Lotus wouldn't be as useful, but
yeah, exactly.
The Lotus is vulnerable, and so are the rest of the tiles.
Yeah. I think if I was Aurorabreeze right now, I would focus on not having tiles on the Ginseng line, and I would hope that if BuddhaofGaming wants to capture the Lotus, that they would do it rather quickly, so I can exchange my orchids for a Ginseng. I think maybe 1 Ginseng is enough. So 1 Ginseng and then 1 Bender or the Lion Turtle. What do you think about that?
I think host, the BuddhaofGaming, I think is host. should focus on trading mostly.
Yeah.
Here, this is a delicate position actually. I want to point this out because you cannot actually capture the bison. The bison, because then the game is lost.
The
Because
the game
yeah,
is
the lotus is the game is lost for host because the lotus is offset.
It is? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it is
it
offset.
is. Huh.
Or am I wrong? I
Well,
think I'm just
you
wrong.
can't go here
No, I'm playing.
because the orchid can take it.
Yeah, I'm playing wrong.
So
Yeah,
it'll need
I
two
did not.
moves, but it's very close. Yeah, it's just the orchid
Yeah, never
forward.
mind.
But it'll be interesting to see if that's what's gonna happen if Buddha of Gaming falls into that trap.
There's no trap there actually. I just realized because yeah, I did not
Because of the
I did not
orchid?
calculate that. Yeah, you cannot move there. So you can capture the bison if the badger mole moves lotus forward. Not diagonally,
Oh.
diagonally. Okay, never mind.
What do you think about this move? Why do you think they did it?
I actually have no clue.
Me neither. Okay, let's put this one on a pause. Jump over to Kartofelbest and Buddha of Gaming. Oh, somebody's writing GG's here. Seems like the Buddha of Gaming is winning.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I think they're... yeah, let's put this in sandbox so stuff doesn't happen. Where were we at? Ah, yeah. We had this badgemal move. Orchid takes. It shows how valuable it is, as Izney pointed out. And then the dragon blocks this win opportunity. Ginseng goes back. So, just quickly, Emmanuel, when, I'm thinking it's completely unnecessary of Buddha of Gaming to move this Ginseng up here. It's so clear that there's a win opportunity, and it's very easy to block, as Kartofelbest does. So is it just wasting a move for letting your opponent actually develop more material? What do you think about that?
Of course.
Yeah. Because they move back anyway, so it's just basically they're skipped a full move, and Kartofelbest got to develop their dragon for free. And now even this. Oof. So the Ginseng is not protecting anymore because of the dragon lion turtle. Badger dragon turtle. Okay. This lotus is still not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Kartofel is. That was just silly. I'm not sure why host is set on disrupting the lotus.
Ah, yeah, you about this, yeah. Yeah, because now this
Yeah,
is...
I'm not sure. No, that was definitely a weird move, to say the least.
Yeah, this dragon push, right?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty big blunder.
No, it's not a blunder, but
No?
it's a weird move. No, host has enough material, and now the dragon can be captured with the bison, and that brings. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
You think you should have
It would
taken
have
with
brought
the
the
bison
bison
instead?
back in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I would have brought the bison back in the game, and then do something with the badger
Interesting.
mole. I don't know.
So, do you think this move, which Kartoffel did, is the better, or going here and then pushing this way is better? Oh no, you can't do that. Game over. The lotus jumps. Never mind. All right, let's continue here. Oh, that was where they
Well,
were
I
at.
don't think that hosts should focus on guest lotus at all, because the turtle was in a very good spot on the borderline there. There
Yeah,
were no ways of, moving that.
it seems
So
like. No, sorry, continue. I thought you were finished.
yeah, so like doing something with in the position to develop the coin, the badger mode would have been perhaps um, more important. But yeah.
I think it's interesting to see. I mean, both of Kartofelbest's games is like their task down here having a tea party and just focusing on taking as much material as possible and then just winning slowly. Is that maybe that's a general strategy from Kartofelbest, and it's definitely working for them, I think. But let's go back and see what's happened, because Kartofelbest just wrote in the chat, "This game against Buddha is a nightmare to play. I wonder what Emmy and Mikkel are talking about." So let's see what's happened since.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, okay. So we had this push, dragon. Oh, need to answer Kartofelbest.
This is the last move, the last move played.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, we have some Ginseng dancing around. Ginseng being pushed, Ginseng going back, Lotus being pushed.
Yeah.
They really want to capture that Lotus. Either that, or they're just going to push it a bit back to feel a bit more safe. I don't think it's the best move for Kartofelbest to capture the Lotus. Should Kartofelbest just push the Lotus again? Ah, yeah, there we have it. Now we know Kartofelbest again, just eating tiles. Bison takes a koi. Let's see what's happened here. Okay. Yeah, so we had this interesting line with an offset lotus. I'm gonna have to do this. There we go. We had an interesting line with an offset lotus here.
Yeah, this game.
Yeah. Dragon goes back.
For
Orchid
some
goes
reason.
forward.
Yeah, that's to try to trade the orchid.
Yeah.
And to set up for a win.
Yeah, problem is there's no ginseng, so it doesn't matter if the lotus goes here because of this.
No, but the lotus doesn't go there. It's just the badger mold that goes diagonally to the lotus. It's just to set up a chain.
Yeah,
A jump.
of course. I hear you. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, but they don't do it. Is there a missed Shankly here?
No, I don't think so.
Because, but wait, if they, let me try this. If they do this, right? That's a win. The only thing they can do here, well, of course, okay, so they can't go here. That would be the best move. If they capture, it's still not game over because then you go here and then it's pushed. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back. No, sandbox. There we go. Okay. So we had the orchid forward, then bison taking free wheel. Orchid takes orchid, makes sense. Lotus jumping back. And then dragon getting ready for some action. This is also for jump. For the lotus, setting up for win. And by the way, it's theBuddhaofGaming that is playing as host and Aurorabreeze as guest. Aurorabreeze is trying to set up for some jumps, but it doesn't seem like there is much to do about this game right here. What do you think about this current state, Emmanuel? Would you say it's lost for Aurora?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's not much to do with only 3 tiles.
No.
Against 6.
Jeg har lige slukket mikrofonen. Ja. Hvad siger du? Jo, men det skal lige blive færdigt først. Nå, jeg tænder mikrofonen igen. Hvad siger du? Ja, den er sindssygt lækker med at få mere. Jeg tænder mikrofonen igen, ikke noget forstyrret. Alright, sorry, I'm back again. Yeah. That's Shankly. Do we agree? Oh wait, no, it's not Shankly. Well, I guess it is in X moves.
How is it not?
Can block the win here.
So, yeah, but there's a badger mole.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's a Shankly.
Oh, never mind.
Jump or capture.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Sorry.
Well played, both of you. All right. So it all comes down to this. If
I am so confused.
if the Buddha of Gaming can make a draw, then they have to play again. And whoever wins the whole tournament. But I don't think Buddha of Gaming is winning. Their best choice is to play for a draw. Okay, tell me, what are you confused about in this game, Emmanuel?
Well, Kartofelbest is just chasing goats. I'm not sure what he's doing. Why not just advance the Lotus?
Yeah, it does seem like he's unnecessarily prolonging the game. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I'm not even sure if it's intentionally prolonging it.
No, I wouldn't think so either.
That's why I'm confused.
Mm.
That's why I'm confused.
There's definitely not going to be many tiles left. Maybe Kartofelbest wants to win both their games the same way, with no tiles left for the opponent, and the Lotus is just forced to jump over one of their tiles. The evil way to win a game of Ginseng.
Perhaps that's the only explanation.
Ah. Okay. So there we have the Lotus being captured. So what happens?
No,
there
finally.
we go. Okay, now we're following it live. Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. Maybe Kartofelbest was just afraid of not recognizing a potential jump from the Buddha of Gaming if they focused on their own Lotus. And Kartofelbest is writing, yeah, this game is definitely going to need a review from Pip. It's because we're not good enough, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
so,
apparently.
Only Pip counts. It's crazy though, like even when Pip hasn't played for several months, then if we play a game, we usually play in person. He still like just completely defeats me. And I'm like, you haven't played for months. I play almost every day. How do you do this? So weird.
Well, I guess he knows what he knows.
Yeah, he's also pretty good at chess. So I think maybe like having played chess for quite a long time, that does help him with always getting into the mindset of Ginseng as well, and the feeling of the game.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps.
I can even say that having played Pai Show and definitely having played Ginseng a lot, it's helped me like learn how to play chess. So it also helps the other way around.
Yeah, it gives you like a mindset, perspective on the game that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
And finally, I'd say this game should have been won some 10 moves ago, but what do I know? I'm not Pip.
Exactly. We're not pit. Okay. So, and we have Aurora back, and I can see she's also listening, so that's perfect. Kartofelbest is also listening. Maybe we can. I'm not sure we can get the theBuddhaofGaming here, because they're doing their own. Oh, let me just write to them quickly. Okay, we'll see if they join. All right. This was some really cool games. Just before we turn to the Grandmaster, Master, and Young Master, do you have any like general takeaways from these games, Emmanuel? Any general thoughts about it? What was your experience with these games?
Yeah, these are definitely some very interesting games, not gonna lie. Interesting ideas and tactics and strategies. Even though, as we were saying at the beginning, they were all Fortress games. Started as Fortress games. You can definitely see how each one had its own flavor and its own character.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. It's a very, very good point that we definitely were talking about at the beginning, that it was very fun to see how they kind of reminded of each other. Guests were playing as guests, hosts as hosts in all of the games. It's kind of the same. Ginseng Fortress, and yeah, but they develop so differently anyways, and sometimes because of blunders, other times because of Ginseng games are just always different. So, but yeah, really great games, and I think it was really great with your thoughts and commentary as well, Emmanuel. You always bring some. I think you have a lot of good remarks and strategies. So, thank you a lot for helping commentating. And this is not to say goodbye yet, because we still want to just bring Kartofelbest and whoever wants to participate of the council members. They can also join in the voice chat. No one is forced, obviously. But I can see both Kartofelbest and Aurora is here. Feel free to unmute if you're down for having a chat. Otherwise, you can write in the chat. But
I'm good to talk. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so first of all, Kartofelbest, major congratulations with not only becoming the Grand Master, but also winning your first Paisho tournament. This means you will get the tournament winner role in Ginseng, and I'll make sure to give you that role and also make an announcement about it. So we'll wait a bit for that, because I want to make a special text for that as well. But yeah, we think you played really well and really interestingly. Emmanuel think you had some weird plays. So if you have some time for it, it could be interesting hearing some of your thoughts about some of your moves.
Sure.
Emmanuel, do you have anything specific you'd like to go through?
Yeah, I wrote in the chat. You're chasing ghosts. Sorry. You're chasing ghosts. It was so weird. Because
yeah,
the Lotus there was definitely not a threat. And he kept on trying to capture it for some reason. That's why I felt weird. But regardless, he had an advantage from, I don't know, was that move 10 or something, where the Buddha Gaming just lost 3 tiles in move somehow. Yeah, you had an advantage, winning advantage from then on to the end.
Did you say move 10?
Yeah. I had an
I'm not
advantage.
sure,
It did not
actually.
feel like an advantage.
Yeah. maybe.
Yeah, here we have.
As
don't
the
know how it feels.
Lotus was getting closer, it was getting harder and harder to play the position.
Hmm.
So it didn't necessarily feel like advantage, but it might have been.
Hmm. So, and what, in terms of Emmanuel saying that, like, maybe you could have won some moves earlier, and it looks like you very badly wanted like you focused a lot on the Lotus. What was your thoughts behind of the focus on the Lotus, even though you were quite so many tiles up?
Well, if the Lotus crosses the midline, you lose, and I didn't want to lose, so
Hmm.
I don't remember my thoughts. I think it was something along the lines of, I have an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I need to keep that advantage, and I need to keep the Lotus from crossing.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. You're really cementing your advantage. I can definitely see that. And I also mentioned to Emmanuel that, you know, when the Lotus is this far up, so close to the midline, I definitely know just from myself that, you know, if I focus too much on my own Lotus, then all of a sudden there was a line that I didn't recognize and I lose, even though I have the greatest advantage in the game. Yeah, so I think it makes sense that you wanted to go for that Lotus for some time.
Yeah. I don't think my Lotus moved from the time I took it out until I started to like go for the win.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
It didn't actually.
Yeah, Emmanuel also said because you did this actually in both your games, and it's like some of your tiles are just having like a coffee break, sitting all the way back there for a very long time. And I was wondering if like you were going for just your strategy was maybe is capturing as many tiles as possible and then advancing. What do you have anything to say to that?
I don't know. My normal strategy is to get into a position where if I advance, I won't lose, and that usually means taking half the pieces off the board. It just so happens that the pieces weren't the problem this game. It was the Lotus.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Buddha is really good at getting that Lotus to the midline.
Yeah. And that was what I was about to say. BuddhaofGaming is really focused on moving that Lotus, and he is really good at that. And I can also see we have BuddhaofGaming here. Welcome as well, BuddhaofGaming. You played. Your microphone sounds a bit weird, but
yeah, probably as with my headphones.
Okay, all good. But played very well as well as really cool and interesting games. Kartofelbest, I have one other thing for this game I need to ask, or at least mention. Yeah. So, Emmanuel and I talked about a lot these sequence of moves right here. First of all, we predicted this Ginseng going here because it creates a line for the lion turtle. Now, Kartoffel, when you move your wheel here, instead of your orchid here, or dragon here, I know there's a protection here, but there's obviously a chance for the lion turtle to go here. So, did you have this move in mind, and what was your thought behind moving the wheel here?
So the thought of the wheel there, I didn't have the lion turtle move in mind, but the thought of the wheel was if the turtle moves there, or tries to advance, I can push my Lotus out of the way, so that my Lotus can't be captured. Because if I knew that if my Lotus was captured in a game like this, I probably wasn't gonna be able to win. And I did not want to draw against Buddha.
So you were thinking if the lion turtle went, where did you think about pushing the Lotus? Here?
Just one step over, yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
That was my original thought, but then it just so happened that I didn't see that my Ginseng stopped protecting my turtle, but then I still moved the dragon up, and then I saw that it was going to push the Ginseng and protect everything still.
Yeah. Yeah, and we also thought this move was a really genius move. And at this...
Yes, it was. That threw me off.
Yeah. at this place I was kind of contemplating over whether or not you were actually aware of Buddha having this opportunity, but that you could just push it afterwards. Because it does, unfortunately for Buddha, it means a wasted turn, because now they're going to want to move back, right? So, and I think Buddha, this is, in general, I think you're a really strong player in using your Ginseng Fortress very creatively, being dynamic with them, moving it around, and finding ways to always threaten your opponent's Ginsengs is, yeah, you're really good at this.
Yeah, my general strategy is actually really similar to Kartofelbest in that I don't like to move my Lotus unless I think I can move it really easily. But also with the flexibility thing, I did that exact same move at the exact same time in both games.
Yeah, we saw that as well. That well, basically from all of you three amazing players, there were some of the same moves, which makes sense. It's the same players playing. But it was very interesting seeing the similarities. Do we have anything else? Do we have anything else to this game, Emmanuel?
No, I don't think so. These were like the most interesting points.
Yeah.
This game been most interesting.
I agree. All right. I'm wondering if we should also just ask quickly into these games. I can't remember. Do you remember if there is anything we want to ask here, Emmanuel?
I'm not sure.
Let me just quickly go through it. Yeah. Okay. So we have this move here.
Yeah.
So I was in this game. I was scared until I got that move in.
Yeah, I can understand, and that's what. So first of all, I wanted to say I hope Aurorabreeze is listening in. And yeah, Aurorabreeze, don't feel forced to join the voice chat. Definitely don't have to. You can just chat if you're most comfortable with that. Yeah, cool. So first of all, I think it's so incredible that you've only been playing Show for 2 months. You've only been playing Ginseng for 2 months. You're a young master, and you're playing this well against both the master and the grandmaster. It just, first of all, I think I really love. I've said this multiple times already in this live stream, but first of all, I think it's really cool that we have these 3 different groups in the tournament. It gives everybody an opportunity to at least gain a title, but only having played 2 months and playing this well against the grandmaster and the master, I think is really, really cool. So yeah, even though you lost the games, I'd say definitely very well played. So, and then we have, I can see Mark Izney just also mentioned a question we need to ask, but yeah, first of all, I want to say, so this move right here from you, Kartofelbest, this is such an amazing move. Take us through your thought process.
Well, the koi was annoying, and I didn't like it, and my koi wasn't doing anything, so I just traded them off. I also saw that the lion turtle was forced to move from where it was, which gave me easier access to the ginsengs.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're also recognizing from this move, because these are trapping each other, but there's nothing. The only tile that can capture the koi is the lion turtle. So if Aurora wants to make that trade, Aurora is forced to use the lion turtle to capture the koi, and that's what happens. That also obviously means to trade for koi, and it gives a better position because, well, yeah, this is a question we might also have for Aurora, but this means that right here, I think this is your second most critical move, maybe actually your most critical move in the game, because now these almost like they're just fighting to stay alive the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
Aurora.
In that position, I can take every piece except like one.
Yeah. That is crazy, yeah. Yeah, because right now it's not showing it because that's the glitch, but obviously you can also take these. So Aurora, we were thinking, we wanted to ask, what was your, did you see the move of taking your dragon here? If so, then what was your thought of moving the orchid instead of the dragon? And you can just write in the chat if you want to. So we'll just give some time for Aurora to answer.
Yeah, the idea behind that is that now the fortress is quite weak. The land turtle has various access, so it needs to be protected.
Yeah.
So the next move after this needs to address that problem, which is quite crucial.
Yeah.
So that's why the dragon is proposed to be moved there, because it accomplishes two things. Firstly, it protects the fortress, and secondly, it develops the passive, quite massively passive dragon. So yeah.
While we are giving time for Aurora to answer, we can just quickly, because this might not take as much time, Izney just reminded us to ask Kartofelbest about the bison adventure. So first of all, Kartofelbest, what's your thought behind this move? Do you think this is a ginseng?
No. Oh, that's what I was referring to. Okay, so the idea was I get gate control, and the orchid can't take me, and I'm going to be disabling one of the ginsengs in the future. So I'm just threatening stuff.
Why can the orchid not take you?
Because then that gives me more material to work with. Basically.
Can you explain
the
that
orchid
further?
That makes sense.
The orchid would take itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have a piece over there, but that's one less piece for Aurora to win with.
Okay, yeah. That was also what we were thinking. That might be your conclusion on it. So then you take it, and then what about this move? It's the same?
Right there, I'm offering a trade of bisons.
Okay. So you know that
and
you're going into the other bison's territory.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we were thinking that maybe it's just to get rid of some more tiles on the board because you're still on the advantage for the tiles. Interesting. So let's go back to, oh, that was too far, to this move here. So Aurora is writing, I think my thought with the orchid was to bring the orchid into the line of the ginseng to give me a chance to capture the land turtle. It didn't quite work out. Yeah, so that I definitely think that makes sense. And we also, I think maybe in your other game that actually also happened and you were close to being able to take the land turtle. But I do see that getting the orchid here could definitely, then you would be able to capture the land turtle, yeah. All right.
It would take a lot of time.
Oh wait, yeah, about the Sky Bison adventure, I saw something like that. I was worried that Aurora was going to be able to take my lion turtle, and I knew that my game would be incredibly hard if I lost it. But
yeah. Yeah, because here, so this is also, oh, the stream just froze.
Mikkel's net might be glitching.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Perfect.
Stream is unfrozen.
Perfect. All right. We are back. Yeah, it's also 3 hours of recording now. So Yeah, there were some opportunities here. I think this was a really interesting game. Let's see if there are any questions to the last game between BuddhaofGaming and Aurorabreeze. So I'm just trying to quickly jump to see if we have anything. Yeah, Master BuddhaofGaming, you can, if you right click on the FlaviBot to the left, then you can adjust the user volume of it yourself. If you scroll up in the live streaming chat, you can see I sent a picture of how to do it. I only have the user volume on like, I have it on 1% and I still think it's super high. It's so weird. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. So we have this Ginseng switch again from BuddhaofGaming, being able to make this one, the line shuttle here. And I really think, so Emmanuel and I talked about it, and we really think this combination of moves from Aurorabreeze was really a super good way to counter this lion turtle. First of all, yes, the dragon is taken, but this move, this is such a great move from our trapping all these. Of course, this is also trapped, but it doesn't matter because nothing is going to capture it. So right now it's fine. And there's nothing protecting the lion turtle anymore. So now this will be captured. It cannot be protected and it cannot reach this lion turtle. So trading a dragon for lion turtle seems pretty good. Of course, that's not the full picture because it is trading it for a dragon and a ginseng. And actually right here, Buddha, we were thinking about whether this ginseng or this ginseng was the better one to capture. And both Emmanuel and I think this would have been a better ginseng to capture. Do you have any thoughts behind why you captured this one instead?
Yeah. I was actually delivering that in my stream as well. So the reason I went with that one is because I thought it would force protection of the ginseng. I'm sorry, protection of the lion turtle, and moving that ginseng out of the way. And there was no way you could protect both the ginseng and the lotus simultaneously with a single movement. So that would open me up to move my wheel over to attack. When I made that move, that was sort of my set of moves I was going to try. I don't remember if I did actually try moving the wheel over, but I might have found a better move in the meantime.
But it does seem like that strategy worked out in the end, because you did take this one and it did give some movement here.
I didn't expect the badger mole, but for some reason I always triggered it there.
Yeah. But this was also a combination of moves we thought was pretty neat, because we were asking, wait, why not just capture the koi? But if you just had captured the koi, then this lion turtle could go here, and then
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, and that might have been a lost position for you. So actually doing this move, pushing the koi, still both trapped, but it doesn't matter. It's such a great move. And then also you're pushing it into reach for your orchid. Like, just this sequence of moves is just very nice, very well played. And yeah, then of course we have, unfortunately, our last Ginseng is gone, and then it's a very difficult position. But we were talking about this position a bit right here, because you did have an offset lotus, which means it maybe you could set something up even though you didn't have a ginseng. Still very difficult. But like going with your badger mole here instead of capturing, then you would threat a line, basically forcing BuddhaofGaming to go here with the orchid. That's the only spot they can go, because if they took the orchid, it would have been a win for you. But yeah, there were some opportunities here. It was interesting. Yeah, but you didn't have to flip. So I was also thinking that, but then Emmanuel mentioned to me that you actually didn't have to flip the lotus. You could just move the badger mole here without flipping the lotus. And then the lotus could still jump here on its next move. So it's still a pretty bad position, but you're forcing a win. You're forcing BuddhaofGaming to make a sequence of specific moves. We didn't go all the way through, so maybe it didn't matter much. But it would mean that Buddha will be forced to do this. And maybe you could trade for Ginseng, I don't know. But definitely this setup was interesting, and having the offset lotus, it did seem like there were some potential in it, even though you were 2 Ginsengs down. I think most of it is jumping a bit around now. Yeah, and then we have to win. Thanks for now, FireNationSokka. They're already gone. But yeah, are there any last remarks from the council members or Emmanuel Ovici? Anything you think we should talk about?
Well, no, I think this is it. Interesting games. Very nice play. Yeah, I think it was fun. It was quite nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really cool to see so many people in the live stream. I think it's the most number of participants who's been here throughout the whole live stream, so that was really cool to see. It gives some motivation for future tournaments. And yeah, so major congratulations